In 1884, Porfirio Diaz begins his second term as President of Mexico and changes the constitution to stay in power. In 1893, Victor Ochoa launches a revolutionary movement against Diaz, the president, and he was the first Mexican-American to do so. In 1910, Diaz runs for re-election, but when Francisco Madero enters the race, he has Madero put in jail and wins the election. Later on, Madero escapes to San Antonio, where he drafts the plan of San Luis Potosi, that is basically calling for the overthrow of the Diaz regime. The revolution begins with revolts in several states in northern Mexico, and over the next decade, thousands of Mexicans flee to El Paso and the US. In 1911, the Battle of Juarez happened. It was between Madero's troops and Diaz's troops. It lasted for 3 days. Having lost in Juarez, Diaz resigns and flees to Paris. Madero wins the election and becomes president. Emiliano Zapata draws the plan of Ayala that denounces Madero and recognizes Orozco as the new leader of the revolution. In 1912, the US sends troops to the border, fearing that the revolution would cross it. Orozco breaks his alliance with Madero, which makes Madero assign Villa and Victoriano Huerta to combat Orozco's rebels in the north. In 1913, however, Huerta joins with Felix Diaz, Porfirio's nephew, and Bernardo Reis in planning a coup against Madero. During 10 tragic days, La Decena Trágica in Mexico City, the forces of Huerta, Diaz, and Reis attack Madero's army. Then Madero, his brother, and the vice president are killed. Huerta becomes president, and Venustiano Carranza drafts the Plan of Guadalupe that accuses Huerta of restoring a dictatorship. In 1914, Huerta faces increasing suspicion and opposition. Carranza declares himself president, but the claim is contested for nearly a year on legal and military grounds. In 1915, Carranza's supporters, under the direction of Álvaro Obregón, defeat Villa at the Battle of Celaya. Carranza returns to Mexico City, and the United States recognizes Carranza as the new Mexican president. In 1917, a new Mexican constitution is drafted and Carranza is elected president. In 1919, Villa was defeated at the last Battle of Juarez and Zapata was assassinated. In 1920, Obregón is elected President of Mexico.